People keep telling me I'm creepy. You don't think I'm creepy, do you?
It's been a hot minute since Zola sacrificed her professional integrity and came tyrannic with the mother of all devious ideas, to pluck those well-behaved fellows from the Tancred Bastion and assimilate them into an inquisitorial warband. She's put in a huge amount of trust in the rejects, so provided they don't say anything too dodgy on the mic, things will be fine.
I offer no praise to the Emperor!
Apparently, the chains of Grendel's Inquisition are loose enough that the rejects are allowed to say whatever they want, as long as it makes for entertaining dialogue, and as long as you don't happen to mention that pesky second hive city. Most of the borderline heretical lines from our collection of silly goobers can be waved off as products of ignorance, or arrogant delusion, but there's a character whose words often slip by, a character who everyone kind of ignores because they seem a little bit insane. The type of personality whose perception of reality wouldn't look out of place in a Team Fortress 2 SFM skit. Welcome, or welcome back, to the yappings of a man who thinks he can capture the essence of Darktide's personalities after hearing about 500 of the 100,000 or more available voice lines. And which celebrity reject is better suited to help mold this jumble of MP3s into something comprehensible than the psyker who makes zero sense most of the time? Hopefully I have more meaningful trivia to mention than just the guy voicing the male Seer is also the guy who dresses up as a giant potato alien and throws newspapers at people. The Seer is one of our beloved troublemakers, if your definition of troublemaking is erasing some bloke from existence because he made fun of your imaginary friend one time. Envision all the goodwill Savant has corralled with the anti-witch crowd, only for everything bad about psychers to prance into the picture, a disillusioned freak whose one consistent trait is that they are always inconsistent. It's alright though, I'm sure there are rules the Seer plays by, and as long as you're somewhat nice to the poor bug.
I hate you!
The only thing more questionable than the Seer's sanity is my own after trying to piece together their personality, but it's also the chance that there isn't some kind of terrifying switch in tone during one of their voice lines. A facile transition from the whimsy of a warp-deluded visionary to sinister promises of indescribable violence. In just one game you can hear it all, the cordial, the uncaring, or the Seer that will jump you in an alleyway and ask to live inside your soul.
Sometimes I wonder about you. Well, all the time if I'm honest.
Oh, so you do like me after all. I thought so, but I wasn't sure.
Hark at ya! It's not that kind of wondering.
Protest all you like. I can see what's in your soul.
You keep your nose out of my soul. I won't warn you again.
But it's so cozy in here. I could just curl up and go to sleep.
It sure wasn't Tertium that broke Seer, and it's not like psychers are known for being particularly stable anyway. If anyone is to blame, I'd stick it down to the torrent of warp-tortured souls trying to have a chat in the mind of the afflicted. Take into account that folks who have died in the most brutal regime imaginable, or demons trying to snack on a psycher's soul, aren't going to sit down over a cup of tea and have a civilized conversation. So when a voice appears that doesn't just scream in pain, but also offers a down-to-earth commentary from beyond the veil, why not give it a chance?
My beloved says feeling it, and particularly beautiful.
What the fuck did you just say?
We've got two lovely VAs who have had to say the word beloved more times than 99% of people ever will, and God forbid you get curious and type that word into the Seer's voice line file, because not even Belisarius Call will be able to save your computer from the search results. Seer's beloved is one of the great mysteries in Darktide, alongside what kind of mascara Swagger uses and whether Brunt is a collective hallucination or not. It's already time to talk about the Catachan birds and the Catachan bees, and question if Seer's favourite wacky voice line generator is actually the Emperor, the Changeling, or a twisted fragment of themselves built from the trauma of living as a persecuted witch, being fed dubious information by the unfathomable lexicon of the warp.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I know. I don't know. No, beloved. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I don't know shit.
I know, it's a cop-out answer, and you'd expect some bloke with access to most of the voice lines to know, but that's precisely why it's tricky to pin down any proof. There's a line teasing answers for every theory under the sun.
Sometimes I dream of an impossible fortress floating on a sea of pink fire. A voice calls to me, and it sounds so like my beloved, I almost follow.
Well, that changes pretty much fucking everything.
If you really poke me about it though, I like to lean towards the idea that it really is an aspect of the Emperor, mostly because it's funnier that way. Even then, the Beloved isn't the only voice talking to Seer. Highly coveted dead folks like Saint Messalina also chip into reject conversation, bringing into question just how many heroes of the Imperium or pretender demons Seer has in their collection.
Messalina says she appreciates the thought, but would rather not be put to the sword.
It's certainly enough to make the silly sod think they're the center of the universe, not out of ego, more so that they are the victim of a giant coping mechanism called dreaming. I'm no mental health expert, but believing that all the people you've eviscerated aren't real sounds like a great way to escape the horror of your crimes, a means of grasping what little control you have left.
There are layers to this shit.
Or it's just a haha the Sparkhead is insane type of deal. Either way, like the existence of the Beloved, it drastically ordains the way Seer interacts with the world around them.
So, you're dreaming, yeah?
Oh, yes. I don't know why. I just know that I am.
But you're awake.
Oh, no. I just look awake. I'm not really.
So how are you talking?
Who said I was talking? Maybe you're imagining it.
Unsurprisingly, a regular human psyker having unbridled access to the voices of the countless dead and whatnot is bad for them. Like giving a toddler an iPad that streams LiveLeak 24/7, there's gonna be a few side effects. And you're definitely going to jail.
Beloved, I can't pay child support from here.
For some reason, Seer likes to pretend that this Beloved demands complete respect and obedience, something that the real Emperor would never do. Since he isn't here to enforce anything along those lines, Seer acts as a sort of fiercely defensive bodyguard to an entity no one else can see. It goes beyond getting bratty about it though. There's a chance that insulting the Beloved nets you a trip to the afterlife.
I do want to be your friend, you know. Only I have to be careful. Something terrible happened to my last friend.
Oh, really? Heretics got him?
No, he disappeared.
And why did he do that?
He said something very unkind about my beloved, and then I don't exactly remember.
Well, I think your beloved is wonderful.
That's very kind. You'll like that.
I don't know what you'd expect from a character who has 50% of their lines start with the words my and then beloved. They're very protective of their friend, regardless of how laughable it is to expect people to understand. From the sound of things, the Emperor is in on the joke as well, enabling all sorts of nasty behaviour.
No, beloved, I don't think she's being very nice either. What's that? I'm allowed to turn her inside out? That seems a little extreme.
In fact, this Beloved is suspiciously agreeable for someone who wouldn't spare this psyker a second thought otherwise, to the point where it starts to blur the line between who is actually contributing to the words being said. It kind of reinforces the idea that the Beloved is an extension of the Seer, a sick projection infused with the memories of the Emperor, and, like I said earlier, it's easier to live with the delusion that the God Emperor of mankind is your bestie.
Oh, I almost never get bored. If I do, my beloved tells me a joke.
I would like to believe Matt Ward didn't just write this character to deliver comical implications about the Emperor.
However,
My beloved says that what happened to Cadia wasn't your fault. He wants you to know that. My beloved says that the original Lehman Russ drank too much. That feels unkind. My beloved said the purser's prices are very high.
It was all Horace's fault. My beloved should really have paid him more attention. We all make mistakes.
No, beloved, it's not a good dog. My beloved adores Stephanie.
Yes, beloved. I would very much like to visit you at the Golden Throne.
Not a great plan.
If you can somehow ignore the most prominent quirks of the Seer, there's still plenty to talk about. Psychers are no stranger to unwanted premonitions. I wonder which of our rejects lacks the awareness to see the harm in sharing these visions.
I had a vision of this place last night. No longer in ruins. No longer corrupted by the heretics. It was glorious.
You know, I think I saw the same thing. You were there with me, gazing in wonder at our surroundings. Then someone shot you and you died.
I think I prefer my vision to yours.
Oh, don't worry. I killed them for you. If only I could remember their face. I know it was someone you trusted.
Exposing the deepest insecurities of your fellow siblings is just a pastime of the Seer. Besides, something far cheekier that they do is build on existing theories regarding Atoma, usually with nonsense.
What's that, my beloved? Scandalous. Do tell more!
Imagine you are one of the well-adjusted personalities, like the Mole Arbitrator. You've been assigned to a strike team, and one of the witches has already talked about how they are psychically attuned to the Judge of Terror, that you're all thralls in a dream, and that the mission operator is a 50-foot tall man from Armageddon.
The 50-foot version of Morrow with the giant Ptera Squirrel whispering in his ear is at least a little unusual.
Right. So what's all this then?
Seer's many absent declarations are cause for concern in any situation where life and death are in the balance, so the last thing you'd want is for them to start chasing phantom rodents in the middle of a firefight.
Sometimes I'm trying to murder a filthy heretic and then... Ptera Squirrel!
What? Where?
Ptera Squirrel!
I'm sorry, what?
While we're covering the really important stuff, we know that the French language has been preserved in this tragedy of a man, all thanks to one of Zola's memories.
Au revoir, Augustine.
One of the more obvious terms missing from Seer's vocabulary is déjà vu. It's a gap in their knowledge which remains unremedied by the Beloved, aka the Master of Mankind. Someone who would have heard French in its first and final iterations and has divulged countless secrets to the Seer, some of which could be considered a complete betrayal of the modern doctrine, endangering the babbling psycho to an absurd degree, meaning that teaching the Seer a few words in French is where the Emperor draws the line. You gotta be careful with characters who know more than they should. Despite me clowning around the subject, it's clear that these writers are well aware.
I didn't suppose your beloved knows how this mission will end for us?
I'm sure he does, but he won't tell me no matter how often I ask. He doesn't want to spoil things.
Very kind of him, I'm sure.
Oh yes, he always has our best interests at heart, you'll see.
Listening closely, that almost sounded like a zealot who willingly started a conversation with Seer, proving it can be done. All the others have to do is address the dynamic duo with the right amount of reverence, and they'll be left wide open. I haven't really been exaggerating how horrid Seer can be, but I have been excluding their sympathetic side. When they aren't thinking about how bloodshed is fun, collecting eyeball trophies from heretics, dissecting Zola, turning strike teams inside out, indulging the Emperor's worst traits, or chasing a growing list of 40k wildlife, out comes a genuinely kind soul, lost in the madness of Atoma.
Kind? No, not kind. Don't like your screaming.
That's fair. I don't like my screaming either.
Understandably, both the Seers will latch onto anyone that shows them a modicum of interest, seeking the safety of friendship, as if anyone has a choice in the matter once Seer decides that it's their turn. One of their favourite victims is the Fanatic, the perfect guardian for a dysfunctional psyker.
What are ye blethering about now?
Oh, nothing really. My beloved just wants us to work together more. He says we can be good influences on one another.
I doubt that's true. Oh, can you look at me like that? Very well. Have it your way.
Of course, it's hard to make friends if you go around telling people that all your old pals have died under not so mysterious circumstances. Only a complete idiot would try and ingratiate themselves with the likes of the Seer.
I like you, little ones. You are family.
Thank you, sweet brute. I'm sure...
Tiny, squishy family that smells strange and uses long words, but still family.
That's very touching.
I like you best.
That is nice. I feel safe all of a sudden.
Many of the arbitrators haven't had time to explore the complexities of this creature, especially since they are a new external force, and why would they anyway? Nevertheless, years of brainwashing in the Scholar Progenium don't stand a chance against the curiosity of one of the arbitrators. I haven't decided whether male authoritarian is uniquely dense yet, but calling him gullible doesn't even begin to cover it. I guess he got the memo that if you can't think, then you can't inadvertently insult shards of the Emperor's psyche.
Oh dear, you're watching me again. What did I do now?
I was wondering why you appear more nervous than usual.
Do I? Oh dear. I was trying for some of that confidence you were talking about.
I was in error. The effect of your confidence too powerful.
By far, the person who has insulted the Beloved the most is the loose cannon. So, how are they still alive? Well, first of all, they're a playable character who can't die, you silly goose. And secondly, it turns out matching the Seer's freak is a good way to avoid that awkward moment where they discard your remains in the Sea of Souls.
Maybe you should think less. Live in the moment. My beloved agrees.
The rest of you heard that right. No more thinking for me! The Emperor said so!
Either that, or by hoping that the Seer is too aloof to recognise a couple of thinly veiled insults. It's a bit much to expect anyone to really connect with the Seer, who is best kept under the watchful eyes of the Inquisition. Largely content with their mysterious company, they'll continue to tickle our curiosity, while the other rejects live their lives without worrying about the consequences of offending a dying god.
Yes, beloved, they're talking about the Adeptus Astartes. No, the good ones.
I've always been fascinated by the legend of the Thousand Suns. A legion of rogue psychers. That must be quite a sight.
Kill that guy.